Hi, I'm Jason Russell from Critical Dice, and welcome to the Fabled 42, where we build community through friendship, gaming, and chaos. You're watching the Duke City Chronicles, a Monster of the Week game set in my hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can watch the Duke City Chronicles every single week on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific, and then the replay on those same times the following Tuesday on our YouTube channel. And the show today is in part sponsored by Critical Dice. You can use the link in the chat to get yourself 20% off any non-subscription item, and it also buys a cup of coffee for the people in the channel. Suki showing off her Persephone dice, I think, from the look of them. Yeah, those are Persephone. So if you can't do that, no problem. Go ahead and just subscribe, use that free subscription you get from your Amazon Prime. It goes a long way to help out. We really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and do our player and character intros in a weird twist of fate. Riley, why don't you go first?
Wait, hang on. This is like the first time this has ever happened. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Well, I'd like to thank a lot of people. I'd like to thank Q for all the things that he's done to really make my feathers ruffle. Katia, we'll get to that. Hey, Suki for being around for a while, with the car and being a good friend. I am the expert, and now I have magic. So now I ain't as normal as I once was, and I'm just as normal as I once could be.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Diane, why don't you go next and save us from this?
Hey everyone, I am Diane. I am playing Katia Rose, the half vampire, absolutely has a soul, Instagram influencer, morgue worker, and the monstrous playbook.
Well done, GW.
Oh no.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
Happens to the best of us.
I'm GW. You can find me here, also on IG and Twitter under GW005. That's 2 B's and 2 zeros. Also, find me on Clarion Dawn, where it is a sci-fi audio drama. We actually recently just hit above 7K downloads, and we're heading towards 8K. So we're on the way up. You can find that on ClarionDawn.com or any of your favorite podcast platforms. I am playing Q, aka Quavon Whispers. I am the Divine Playbook, and I'm the team's angsty, edgy angel boy.
Wonderful. And Bridget.
Hi, guys. I'm Bridget. You can find me all over the internet at string_theories_, also on TikTok. And I am playing Suki Buchanan. Oh, you can also find me, on the Realms of Ukador every week on Wednesdays. I play Cree Skyborn, a large bird person. But today I am playing a small, spooky grandmother. She's Suki Buchanan is her name, and she is the art teacher at UNM, and she talks to the dead for a living.
Beautiful. And I'm Jason Russell. You can find me on the internet at Critical Dice and Instagram and Heaven Help Us TikTok. And I am your keeper of monsters and mysteries. I'm also Felix Moss on the Realms of Ukador, and sometimes a different kind of keeper on that show. So with our introductions, I don't think anything else to do but let that footage roll.
It's an amazing place. Most people have no idea where it is, but we're okay with that. We've got mountains, rivers, deserts, and over 300 days of sunshine, and some of the most diverse and wonderful people you'll ever meet. It's a great place to live, and I definitely encourage you to try it. But we also have our dark side, our own ghosts, secrets, and legends. Most of them are true. For thousands of years, people have been living here and dying here. This is Albuquerque, but it goes by many names. The 505, the Burke, my favorite is the Duke City. These are the Duke City Chronicles.
So to recap from our last episode, the team gets a call from Sunny, who owns a pawn shop, who's also a demon and trades in magical and supernatural, let's call them black market items, and has been somewhat helpful to the team in the past. He was robbed and reached out to Riley and the C4 team to help him out. When the team got there, minus Q, who stayed back for edgy Angel Boy reasons, they investigate and determine that indeed he was robbed, and someone was able to magically defeat all of his barriers and traps, and took a particularly old ring that some have called the Ring of Solomon, which was rumored to be able to trap and control demons. Sonny confirmed that this was not a myth, but in actuality a real thing. He wants that ring back for obvious reasons. He doesn't want that out in the world. And so the team agreed to go and recover that for him. And in exchange, he gave them a magical book called the Book of Sacrifice, which allows novice and spellcasters and even people with no clue how magic works to cast a certain amount of spells during the lifetime of that book. Q rejoins after they discover that the thief probably is holed up at the Heritage House. Katia found out that the Grant family owns Heritage House and the adjoining Spy House, and is in fact the aunt of her main squeeze, Detective Grant. Is that a word that people use? He's the bee's knees. We really like him. And
pajamas,
and
that man. Cat's pajamas.
the cat's pajamas.
What is going on right now?
I don't know.
I'm in the car, y'all.
All I know is that Katia is digging him like a ditch. He's so hip. Is that not a thing? Okay, how about this? He's so hip he can't see over his own pelvis. No? Okay.
Oh my God! Stop.
Whoa.
What's happening?
Take the boy out of the South, but not however the rest of that
I
goes.
think I just took
Chet,
1d12
get off the
psychic damage.
speakerphone, Chet. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, that got me. Okay, champing it down now. So you guys are pulling up to High Street in front of Heritage House. And right next to it is also what is called the Spy House next door. And there's some lights on. It's fully night now. The couple of cars parked on the sides of the street, but you're able to find parking Suki not too far away, where you guys have a pretty good vantage point on the house. And Detective Grant hasn't arrived yet. He probably went to get coffee first, as requested. And yeah, so you've arrived at this location, and even the sign outside has that same motif as on the keychain that you found outside that Riley found. So this is the right place, but there's not a room number on this key, and you guys still aren't sure who you're looking for, but you're pretty sure after the vision you got, this is definitely linked somehow.
Hey, now, are y'all wanting to what's it called when you damn, I should know this, but Solo's brain is tired.
Reconnaissance?
Solo? Who's Solo?
Stake out the house.
Is that from
You-
a Star Wars movie?
oh my God.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those new Star Wars.
I think it's Star Trek.
You guys want... I can't.
We're all tired.
That's a season wrap for Riley.
And ooh.
See, y'all just poking and poking. Hey, do you guys want to stake out the house first and kind of see who comes and goes? Or do
Well,
you wanna
Detective
just...
Grant will be here soon.
What?
Yeah, his aunt owns this place, so he's got coffee and he's on his way.
Yeah, so
You guys were fighting. I was talking about it up here. You guys were fighting.
Yeah, this is why I said there's no fighting in the Stang. You miss details when you fight in the Stang.
apparently. Well, here's my question now. Do we just want to go in there and be like, where's this key go? And find out who owns it and the person probably book it? Or do we want to keep an eye on the place? Something.
Well, Detective Grant can get here. We can ask him some questions. His family owns it. Maybe ask how many rooms,
But why? Why are you asking these questions?
because we're looking for a ring that was stolen. I mean, that's as simple as that.
we're looking for. We're now the police looking for rings that are stolen.
No, it's just a personal friend's ring was stolen. Why is that weird?
That's exceptionally weird. That's a
No,
police
it's
matter.
not.
It's theft.
He knows that we do things.
Yeah, but not like stealing property.
And as they're just going back and forth, Q was just going to give Suki the eye, like, and that's it. Like, he's not gonna say anything. Just
Well, we could just ask him questions about it. I mean, it's an old house.
I
We don't have to do
absolutely
any
think
more than that.
Yeah, I mean, you and your little boyfriend will get us we'll get all the questions and the
Well,
back doors and
let's
all
just,
the things that we
you
want
know,
to do.
Well,
Let's not throw around the B words.
putting a label on it.
The B words, bloodsucker.
We haven't
I thought I didn't say bloodsucker. Did I say bloodsucker?
yeah.
No, boyfriend. We haven't said any. We haven't gone that
Fine,
far.
whatever your thing is. I'm just saying, just understand what you can or cannot say as you go talk Mr. Gray.
I can and cannot say whatever I want.
Well, I do think it's a good idea not to mention theft. Riley does have a point on that.
No, I agree, but
Yeah. Well,
I'm also
so
not going to be told.
that is, I respect that as well. But he knows that we do spooky stuff. So why don't we say we're just on a spooky mission and it's led us here and
Right? I mean, I'm sure this place is supposed to be haunted, right?
yeah,
It's super old. It was built in the early 1900s.
Yeah, totally. And maybe he recognizes the key. If he don't recognize the key, then I don't know. It might be nice to have somebody who knows the owner, because what if there's a secret something in the house that maybe I don't know about Tex Grant's personal history, but as maybe he grew up around the house. Maybe he knows a secret whatever. He doesn't have to know that it's for theft. We could just say it's for ghost purposes if you want. I could drop a couple names,
Perfect.
Do I see any ghosts around?
Yeah, roll plus weird.
I love it.
I'm always scanning just in case.
Always looking for your husband.
Ouch.
Wow.
I mean, you said it in the first episode.
I did. That was the worst. That was a poor time. I am always looking for my husband. He can't show up if I so that's only an 8.
Only an 8. Yeah. So your sight opens up and you don't see any apparitions, full-blown apparitions just walking around. But there is a vibe coming off this house that honestly to you isn't that surprising considering its age and the history here. Because typically the thing you need for ghosts to just kind of propagate and manifest is history, strong emotions, and time. And this house is a prime candidate. So it's almost like the vibe you got when you were back at the Lobo Theater during the hunt with the Order, where there wasn't a ghost, but the building itself was almost haunted by it. It had a spirit of the house. So this house definitely has that same kind of vibe to it, but there's nothing active. This is more like a passive sense. Yeah, this is a haunted place, but I don't see anybody I know.
Residual hauntings and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wonder if I can. There's a general vibe of ghostiness around. I might be able to talk to it like I did the Lobo Theater. Yeah. So yeah, just say it's ghost business, and we'll just leave off on the Ring of Solomon until the absolute last second.
I can always erase his memory too. Kind of, just forget what you've seen here and send him on his way.
The start of a healthy relationship, to be sure.
Well, I don't know why everyone keeps we're talking, we're enjoying each other's company, but I drink blood and he doesn't know that, so it's a
pretty big hurdle. Well,
yet why does he need to know that? We drink coffee together. We
just big into liquids.
You can tell that Q is trying all of his might just to stay quiet, to not say anything to the whole blood-sucking thing. Just aggressively being quiet.
Just
I can see your eyes rolling around in your head, Q. What you want to say something?
Nope. Q walks away.
Yeah.
Q's walking towards the house and kind of like around it, like to the left.
Okay. So, and what's your intention there, Q? Is to kind of get a lay of the land?
Yes.
All right.
I'm probably gonna follow him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't mind catching up Detective Grant by yourself, I think I'd like to go and see if I can maybe manifest a little spirit of the house over there. You okay? You got him? All right. Sick. I'm gonna follow the boys.
Okay, great. So as you kind of like circle the house, you can see that due to the age, like the yard, pretty small, multiple stories, real small alley kind of in the back. It's everything seems pretty quiet. It's like a Tuesday night or something. It's not loud parties, not the university, anything like that. So it's pretty chill. Are you looking for anything in particular, like different ways in, or?
Yes. And a quick question, Keeper.
Yeah.
Roughly what time of day is it right now?
It's just after sundown, probably like 8 o'clock at night. So fully dark, but the night's young, as it were.
Cool.
I'm looking for the footprints. Not that I would find any, but
I'm looking for doorways in, other ways in.
I'd like to see if there's anybody in the windows. Just kind of do that casual, like, New Yorkers do this all the time. When there's a lit window, you can see all the way into the apartment, and then you're just like, how dare they have such a nice apartment? I'd like to do that. See if I can see anybody.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're not wrong. So basically there's two houses here. There is the Heritage House proper, kind of to the south, and then to the north is the smaller spy house, they call it. And but the sign out front indicates that Heritage House is kind of the umbrella term for both properties. So you're not sure which house this key would go to. But Suki, as you're kind of looking into the windows, you can see in kind of what was probably once like a sitting room, right, where you would entertain guests. There's period furniture. There's a lamp with a very like overly ornate shade, and you can see that there is a man there sitting and quietly reading a book. Little older guy, maybe late 50s, early 60s, and then you see another person, a woman probably in her late 40s, kind of come through, briefly speak to him, smile, and walk away. And she picks up a couple of things and heads towards the kitchen area. It seems like she's kind of cleaning up a little bit.
So that's the aunt.
Hey, Suki, can I see the key real quick?
Oh, yeah. And I'll toss it to him.
Bridget and Chris, does Q know that we're looking for a ring? Do I know? Did you tell me?
I did. I mentioned it in the car, but
okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said it explicitly though.
Yeah, unless you guys are specifically trying to keep him out of the loop, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't have come up in the drive.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna.
Suki likes loop.
I'm gonna go to the main Heritage House.
Mm-hmm.
First, there's like a foyer or like a bellhop, or not a bellhop, but
like a welcome desk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Place to check in.
Because they usually have the keys hanging there, right?
Yeah, something like that. That's a reasonable expectation.
Well, first off, I'm gonna put these on, and then I'm gonna walk around with the keys. I'm gonna go into the yellow Heritage House first.
Okay.
I was walking with him. Does he just like disappear from my sight?
Well, let's find out. So putting them on activates the item.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, can you remind us what this item does?
Once per day while wearing the glasses, people don't notice you unless you interact with them. Roll plus charm to activate them.
So go ahead and do that and tell us what it says on your roll.
God bless America! That's double sixes, but my charm is -1.
So that's an 11. So on the 10 plus, it does what?
Works for up to an hour.
Okay. So unless you physically interact with someone, these glasses effectively make you invisible, but not really. What they do is people just choose subconsciously to not look at you. And so no one's going to notice you. I have these glasses on, including your teammates. If you take them off or you dispel the illusion by like, throwing something at somebody or shaking them or like talking like right at their face where they have no other place to look, it will dispel it and the use will be gone. But until you do one of those things, you are effectively imperceptible.
Okay.
And I love that you have the prop. So you're walking through the front door?
I'm gonna walk through the front door quickly.
But before he does, because I was right next to you when you put on the glasses, I assume I saw you do it because I was talking to you. But I'm just gonna say once he kind of goes out of my vision, out of my sight. So should I stay here? Should I go with you? Like, what are you doing?
So question: if I respond to him, does that negate the rest of the item effects, or is it just he can see me now? Because I can't remember.
If you draw attention to yourself, the spell pops like a bubble.
Yep. So I don't respond.
Right. But there's other ways of getting around this.
Suki,
Yeah,
can you link us?
Oh, yeah.
The second I said it, I was like, damn it, I should have said something to Suki first.
And it's a cool effect because Riley, you see Q like talking to the empty alley and looking everywhere but where you are asking this question, and you're just like right there and you're like getting ready to talk, you're like and you kind of just like walk away, and then you hear like a little conversation somewhere off in the distance as he catches up with Suki. Suki, I think we set it up that we're good now. Like, you don't have to roll to do a party line. So
I rolled good enough.
The party line comes into play, including Katia, I assume. She's pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, so party line clicks on, and you all feel that kind of faint buzz in the back of your brain that lets you know you're on the party line.
And you just hear the echoing voice of Q just saying, "Sup."
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I wasn't even thinking. I'm in the party line. I put my little handy glasses on, makes me kind of invisible for like an hour. I'm taking the key to see which house this is, and then I'm gonna, if I can find a room, I'll try to open the door. But I'll let y'all know what I'm doing when I'm doing it.
All right. Cool with me.
All right.
Right, yeah. So you're going through the front door?
Yeah.
All right, you open the door, and a bell goes ding, 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 ding.
Oh.
And you hear footsteps, but you don't feel like the spell has burst.
Okay.
Because that brought attention, but not specifically to you. Like, maybe if someone had been in the room and like turned and looked to see who opened the door, that might have done it, but that's just a general noise.
Got it.
And you hear footsteps coming from somewhere in the back of the house, but you do see that there's a little, probably a much newer addition to the house, but there's almost like a little, like, like how some houses have like a wet bar, like in their basement. There's like that kind of like dark wood kind of bar there, and you can see a guest book, but you don't see any keys like against the wall or anything. What do you want to do?
Did you see anything?
No, I don't see anything. Someone's coming. I'm trying to find out if I just leave this key here and this person's going to put the key back where it's supposed to go, or what?
I think we should keep the key for sure. Maybe can you just go up to a random like room and try the key?
What would I have any idea how many rooms are in this?
You don't, but you would guess that they're in Heritage House. There's probably like 3 or 4 rooms, and Spy House probably 3 or 4 rooms.
Got it. So, yeah, I will effectively go up to where the rooms are, quickly and quietly, and I will try some of the doors.
Yeah, so that's probably going to take you about 5 minutes or so to be quiet. One of the rooms, the door is ajar, and the other 2 upstairs, the doors are closed.
Is there anyone in the room it's ajar?
Yeah, you kind of peek your head in there, and this is like a really, I mean, all the rooms are really beautiful, but like this one has kind of like a green wallpaper with like a green diamond shape to it, pattern on it. with like really rich earth tone bedspreads and old antique furniture. And there's a suitcase in here and some clothes that have been kind of taken out, toiletries and such, but there's no one in this room.
Is there a bathroom in this room?
There is.
There's someone in the bathroom?
That door is open and you kind of peek in and there's no one in there. Now, they did forget to flush.
Oh,
That's just
That's not important. I just wanted to mess with you.
I'm going to very, very quietly get my peripherals out. I'm going to put the key in that lock, and I'm going to try to flick the thingy.
Yep, that key does not go to this room.
Got it. All right, I'll go to the next rooms.
All right, those two are closed, and you notice they have little name tags and brass plates next to each of the rooms. And so the rooms that are different, that are closed, is the Rose Room. And then the other one is called the Ivy Room. Which one do you want to try first?
I'll try the Rose Room.
All right, so you put the key into the Rose Room door and it doesn't open. This is not the key either.
It's not the Rose Room?
It's not the Rose Room.
What was the name of the first room?
The first room is called Garden Room.
Is that the secret garden room or just the garden room?
Technically, it's a secret garden room, but not in my world.
Got it.
Was there only a number on the key that we had?
There's no number on the key.
It's just a key, period, nothing. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I will try the Ivy Room.
Same thing. That door is not matched to this key.
So it's
Katia, you see the black SUV you come to know and appreciate, driven by Detective Grant, start slowly driving down the street looking for a place to park.
I think I was just like waiting by the Mustang.
Okay.
And I'll just like wave as he gets close.
You see him like flash his lights like as a wave, and he parks a little ways down the block, and you see him come out, and he's got 2 cups of coffee and walking towards you.
So there's only 3 rooms in this house?
You've checked all 3.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't mean that this isn't like a key to some other room in the house, but the 3 main staying rooms, it doesn't match. Got it.
Correct. And there's still the spy house that you could check.
Yeah, that's
all right. Still through the mental thing. All right. I checked 3 rooms in here. It's not this house. I'm gonna move over to the spy house. Hey, Suki, that house you saw in your vision, does that look like either one of these?
Keeper?
Now that he mentions it, it looks a little different because there's trees and things around it. It looks like spy house.
Damn it, son of a...
Well,
I wrote it down too to say, tell Suki. Never mind.
It looks an awful lot like Spy House.
I will quickly rush over to the Spy House now that I've wasted 15 minutes.
All right. Katia, Detective Grant walks up, hands you your coffee. He's like, hey, good to see you. How you doing?
Hi. We're doing ghosty things here.
Oh, like it's like a haunted house tour. Is that a thing? Like they do those in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I think they do them most places with old houses.
Oh. So are these houses haunted? Kara never.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really? Is this the thing?
Totally haunted, like full of ghosts. You know, Suki's really in tune with ghosts, and she's just having tons of conversations right now, I bet.
So your landlord, the old lady, is walking around talking to herself. Is she going to be okay?
No, I'm like 90% sure that she's completely sane. I don't know who she's talking to, but she talks.
Question.
So you don't know who she's talking to, but she does, and that's okay.
Can we hear?
Yeah, I mean, we have fun. We have fun, doing the ghost hunts. So,
With
Okay.
the mind link, do we hear when people are talking normal? Or we
Yeah, I think that people could relay conversations like that, but it's not an automatic thing. And on the same token, people could also like try and obscure a conversation they're having out loud from people on the party line if they really wanted to.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's up to Katia. But I think unless she's thinking about it, you're hearing her side of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking out loud.
Yeah. Then all my reactions stand.
Excellent.
That
He says
90% sane.
he says, yeah. So my Aunt Kara bought this place several years ago. She's not really into the ghost thing. I don't know if that's something she's aware of, but she basically bought it for the history. I mean,
Yeah.
So, do you know much about the place? And now you guys
No.
are like he's like walking side by side with you down the street closer to the house and kind of pointing at it and kind of giving you the unofficial tour. And he says, so the smaller house next door, they call that the spy house. And that's because during World War II, there were actually KGB spies here. It's kind of crazy.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Freaking cool.
Because most people don't think about KGB being, doing spy stuff until the Cold War, right? But
Or in Albuquerque.
well, that's true, but you got to remember, not only do we have Kirtland Air Force Base here, the Trinity test was just down the road in White Sands, and the Manhattan Project's main location was up in Los Alamos, just like 90 minutes from here. Oppenheimer, Einstein, Fermi, they were all here at one point. So it's pretty cool. So I guess what happened is that there were these two guys, they're like brothers-in-laws, I guess. There's Greenglass, David, and then Rosenberg, I think are the names. Anyway, so David Greenglass, he worked up at Los Alamos and was working on the Manhattan Project, like access the whole 9 yards. And then it turns out his sister married a straight-on commie. And they were recruited by the KGB, and they somehow got to Greenglass. And in this house, he sold them or gave them or something plans to the atomic bomb before anyone knew it existed, months before Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, now it didn't really matter, I guess, because they did it like it was too soon to like when they actually tested the bomb and then soon after launched it. So by the time the information got back, it was kind of pointless. But it's kind of crazy. And then they didn't get caught. That was the crazy thing. They didn't get caught until like the 50s, which is why people know about it now. They went to like super prison a long time.
So were there like secret rooms in the house, or like a basement with like a fake wall or something? Because just so I can let Suki know, because I bet that there's going to be like a lot of ghost activity around there.
Yeah, I think at the time they picked this place because that's just where they happened to live. They were in an apartment. And so the fact that it was just so plain was like their kind of like cover. But I think since then, Aunt Kara told me that they had like someone at some point, or maybe she did it. She was cagey about it. They did put in like a secret like back staircase that leads to the back door. So you could like leave the top floor like through a passageway in the hallway and then go down and be at the back door and escape if you wanted to. Kind of like to play up the whole spy thing, which is kind of cool. I'm a sucker for a good hidden passage.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else.
I mean, yeah, I guess, and apparently it's haunted as well, according to
for sure,
Miss Buchanan. Yeah, so
she's very reputable, just so you know.
Oh no, I'm sure she has all her appropriate licenses for being a medium. So, are you guys just on like a literal ghost tour, or did you say why are you guys here?
Oh, we're just hunting ghosts. That's it. Just hanging out, having fun.
Is Reed here?
Yeah, he's always with us.
Is someone watching
always,
him?
Yeah.
Is someone watching him?
He was with Q, but
Okay, well, all right. Well,
why?
He just shows. He has a tendency of showing up places he shouldn't. When I first met you that night, we had coffee the first time. That wasn't the first time I'd come across Mr. Reed. He keeps kind of popping up last couple of years. Just stuff goes weird when he's around. I'm kind of glad he's socializing with other people, normal people like you. And
I am very normal.
Well, yeah. Well, I think you're extraordinary, but you know what I mean.
Oh
God.
And so this is very hard for Jason. And he says, well, anyway, I think my aunt's actually on like working tonight. You want to go in and meet her, see the place?
Yeah, sure.
All right, yeah, come on. And so he takes you guys into you to Heritage House and comes in, and about that time, Riley, as you're coming down the stairs, you see Grant and Katia walk in the front door, and after a few seconds, the woman that Suki saw through the windows approaches, and she gives Grant a hug, a little kiss on the cheek, and she's like, Johnny, how are you? Who's this?
I'm gonna slip out as the door is closing.
Hi there. My name's Katia.
Katia, nice to meet you. What are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, I was just here with some friends. I think they were like looking around at the property. We just heard that it was, about the history and heard rumors that it's haunted and was wondering if I could get a tour.
Well, they do say that it's haunted. Most people are more into, the stuff all about about the spy stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I was
we
told
get groups,
about that.
We get groups occasionally that'll come through, and they've got like their EKG meters or something. I don't even know. Looking around this stuff. The biggest thing for me is I've been like in the kitchen by myself before, and like just get a cold chill. It could be just feel like the house is drafty, but I mean, you're welcome to look around. We only have one tenant, one guest right now in this house, and only one in the other house right now. So it's pretty empty. Take a look around. I've got a couple do things upstairs, and then I have to go resupply some things on the next door. But if you guys need me, just let me know.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Good to see you, Johnny. And she on the cheek, and she walks upstairs. Hugh and Suki, what are you guys doing?
Do we know his name was Johnny?
John Grant. Yeah,
he's John Grant.
Oh,
yeah, and she's family, so she's calling him Johnny.
That's fair. All right.
As I furiously look at my notes to make sure I did not just.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
No, it is John. Yes. Okay. Yes. I was like, is it David? No, that's
also
the ghost.
I can
Okay.
cast spells now, so his fear of me being a wizard is accurate.
Dang it! So.
Oh yeah, I remember because I told him, I was like, yeah, he absolutely is.
I am totally not going to waste a spell to. No, I'm kidding. All right.
Yeah.
I am just hanging with Suki outside, just kind of waiting to hear back from people.
Yeah, and Katia, you can absolutely convey that there's only two guests, and that the Aunt Kara isn't going to be over in the other house for a while.
Yeah, I would have like thought that like really hard as John was like going through all the crazy spy stuff that Katia, it's like when the girlfriend's just like,
So
it's like doesn't really care.
When you
but
share
is listening.
Recording.
When you share that information, though, what was that detail? There were two guests in each house, or just total?
One guest in each house,
One in
and she's got to do some things upstairs at Heritage before she goes over to Spy House.
But you said someone isn't at Spy House, and
Someone is. There is a guest at Spy House.
I thought you said the person's name, so that's why I was asking.
No. One guest.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, Suki.
Huh?
So I know you like talk to ghosts and stuff, but demons too. That's a thing you do too.
Well, I mean, anybody will talk to me, I'll talk to them pretty much. I think you should give Sonny just a little bit of a break. I mean, it's not like he's, I know angels and demons and all that, but like, I really do think, well, I don't think he's harmless, but I really do think that we're working on a symbiotic relationship here, I think he's kind of okay.
Sure. So, does he know about how you're friends with that one ghost that he's trying to look for?
Ralph? Yeah, that's why he told me to bring him in. I told him that I know of Ralph. I really got to figure out why that is happening. No one wants to tell me. It surely can't be anything worse than, I don't know, genocide or murder or something like that. Like, he's after him for something big.
Maybe. So it's pretty easy for you to just give over a soul to a demon, huh?
Well, I am having my reservations about it. I'm not going to lie. I would prefer if he went towards the light, but he don't want to go towards the light. And I'm not really giving him over real, I haven't done it yet. I saw him in the, was it not the theater, the last place we were just at, the orphan place, Microsoft.
Yeah.
I saw him at Microsoft, and I didn't catch him and bring him in. I asked him his questions, and I let him go. I'm not bringing him in until I figure out, what all's going on, and then I'll make a judgment based on that. Everybody deserves a fair shake, but, Sonny does too.
Huh. And cuteness, I kind of ended at that, just, huh.
All right, well, I think we should head towards Spy House, so let's see if it's unlocked or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys head to Spy House, and door's unlocked, and you can go inside. This house is a lot smaller, and there is a room downstairs and 2 rooms upstairs. 2 down and 2 up.
Before we go in, Keeper, I do want to make a strong mental note of what the back of Spy House looks like. Can I, where there aren't any doors or anything?
There is a back door. It leads out into a small garden. There's like a shed back there, and then a kind of a garden fence about chest high, made of wood planks, and a little gate. And then there's that little alley, and from there you could get to the end of the block and to a main street.
We could try to find that secret staircase if you wanna.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Did she tell it? Did she tell us that?
Via Katia. Yeah.
Got it. Getting confused with what's being.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't
right now,
want to
I'm
meta,
just.
but I think I'm hearing all this.
So are you two going outside to find the door coming in, or are you going upstairs to find the door going down?
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are running around to the back to go in there and see if you can't find the secret passage.
I think so.
Got it.
And Riley, you said you were headed to the front door to go with the Spy House.
I would have probably trailed right up them and gone in.
Oh, okay. So you're hanging out with them, and you're letting them know via the telepathy.
Yeah, well, I was, but I'm gonna go in because I want to make sure I can check doors before my invisibility goes away. So I'm gonna go to the second floor because of the secret passage way to check those 2 rooms.
I see. So you're going to leave them to kind of look for that, and you're going to run the obvious way to look around. All right, great. So let's start with Suki and Q. So back here, there is a kind of like a little mud room, like a nothing hallway, where you can like put boots and things. And then there's a kitchen, modest, but big enough to, for multiple guests to stay in and to cook their own food and that kind of stuff. And there's no one down here right now. And house seems pretty quiet. There's lights on. It looks lived in. And that's kind of what you see. If you guys want, you can investigate a mystery if you want to try to find that hidden door.
I would love to.
I think
Here we go.
I think I'd like to look for specifically, like, you know how you can tell a secret passageway is there because 2 walls don't meet up correctly? Like I'm looking architecturally. Man, not bad.
I got a 6.
Mark experience.
I will. I'll take it.
I got a 10.
Ooh, very nice. So you are looking in the kitchen, Suki, and you're looking at the stove and the oven units, and it's a gas oven, and it's pretty old but in good shape. And you kind of like look at the wall behind it, kind of walk back into the mudroom, and you're like, huh. And there is one of those, when you close a door and there's like a doorstep at the bottom. In modern houses, it's the little like boingy thing, right? Mm-hmm. There's one of those, but it's like wrought iron. It seems to be a kind of a period piece. And you see that, and you're like, and there's no door there. It's just like left over when someone took a door out. And you push it down with your foot, and the side wall just goes and opens up with a click.
Ha! Found it, and I'm gonna open the thing.
Nice.
Solo, left or right? What?
Nothing. I didn't swear, I promise.
Okay. Left or right? Oh, you're filling a coin.
Left.
Excellent.
That's the most Riley decision I've ever, like, that system of decision making.
Flip a coin. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, well, this
left.
Okay, so you come up to a room. It says the Rosenberg room, and you slide the key in, and it turns.
Oh shit! I'm gonna say Rosenberg room.
And the door opens if you want.
How much time do I have with my glasses?
I would say about 20 minutes.
Oh. I put my ear to the door. Do I hear anything?
You hear there is a TV on in this room.
Oh, that's dirty. I do that too when you... Never mind. I'm going to... I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm going to get killed. It's going to be wonderful. Jason was talking about killing me earlier. I'm going to...
You started it.
Slowly open... I wanted 2 people, and you said murder. So, I'm
and?
I'm gonna open it just a little bit, as quietly as possible.
Riley.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Do I hear him going like I don't know what to do, or did you say that on the party line? Or
I
no?
probably said it on the party line.
Riley, we're in the secret backstairs. You want us to make a distraction or something? Knock on a wall? See if there's any footsteps in there?
Maybe.
Might let you know whether or not there's a person in there.
I mean, there's a TV playing right now. That means there's probably someone in there.
Or they were spying and they left it on so that somebody would think something's in there. Sorry, Suki is like all over this spy stuff. Like she's like,
I love it.
I love it. Ethel and Julius Rosenberg.
Maybe you're doing that crazy hair thing again.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. Maybe. Shit. I just opened the door. I'm not sure what to do.
All right.
You open the door, and this room,
have to.
it's smaller, but it's there's a bathroom off to the side, and you can see that there's like, burgundy and like gold trim on everything, like a kind of gold silk bedspread in the main bedroom area. The TV's on in the corner, and there's a little like nook off to the side where there's like a little kitchenette, like with a microwave and stuff. And you can see that there is a African-American woman about in her 30s, and the microwave dings and her back is to you, and she takes out like a bowl of rice, and she gets some soy sauce and is adding that to it, and she's kind of like stirring it up.
Does she have little feet, like sneaker feet, or does she have like big feet?
She's probably like 5'5", and so her feet are probably they would be consistent from what you can tell from here. She's not like some Amazonian, like she's not, you know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, that could fit,
Okay. This is that what's the thing, the Cinderella? Yeah, we got a bogey in the thing. I'm in the room. Back up? Question mark? I say that out loud. The question mark part.
You're in the room. I mean, what do you see? Are you being attacked? What's wrong?
I'm explaining that there's only 2 guests. The key worked. I'm in the room where the key worked, and there's someone eating bonbons or something.
Well, cool. You're still invisible, right? Just keep looking around. Just don't make yourself known or whatever.
I'm gonna close the door.
Riley, redo bad situation.
I will. I have advantage.
Boy.
No, that's if I
You
get
get
an
an advanced move, yeah.
advanced move. This is not good. I've been rolling so well so far.
No.
There's someone in the bathroom.
Oh shit! Wait. What's bad situation?
Sharp.
Sharp. Okay, good. I rolled a 6, and then I have +3.
So that's 9.
Yes.
You can hold 1. Best way in, best way out. Dangers you haven't noticed.
Dangers
Biggest
I haven't
threat.
noticed.
Yeah. As you're walking kind of into the room, you notice that there is just a faint outline of some kind of discoloration on the floor. That it's almost like when you see hot asphalt in summer at a distance, and you see that warble effect. It's like that a little bit.
Would I be able to see other invisible creatures when I'm invisible?
Well, you're imperceptible, which is different.
But that's
no.
that's where Riley's brain went. That there's something there.
Hey, if you want to decide that that's what Riley thinks, that's fine.
So does that mean it's not that?
There's something there. It's almost invisible, but you kind of caught it because you're Riley. And it seems to be basically like bisecting the rooms. Like to go any further, you're going to have to cross whatever this threshold is.
I'm going to convey this to my friends. I already said I closed the door. I didn't lock it, though. I closed the door. And I'm going to kind of... So, which room is this?
This is the Rosenberg room.
Rosenberg room. This is not a big room. So...
Hey, Suki, do you think we should go up?
Yeah, you guys, while he's deciding, you guys see a very narrow staircase, pretty old, that goes kind of straight up and curves along with the kind of the arc of the house and will lead you up to the second floor.
I'm essentially going to go in the corner of the room. Like,
I'm
not crossing this threshold, but...
Okay. All right, Riley, you see this woman turn, and she is... she's a beautiful looking woman. She has like this grace and poise, almost walks like a dancer, you know, like she took years of ballet. And she sits down in one of the chairs at a little desk and is reading through some papers. Looks like, you're not really sure. It's not a book. It looks like almost like she's reading like a dissertation or something.
Now, the little thing on the floor, does it look like it's something invisible, or does it look like Sonny's field that he put up? Does it look like it would be a ward?
It reminds you more of like a ward.
Okay.
And because you mentioned something like that, I'm like, yep, that's a great comparison. That's a recent event that would absolutely trigger that association.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I cut someone off earlier. Suki and Q, are you guys headed up the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw your messages in Discord too. Yeah, so you guys head up to the top of the stairs and you're met with just a dead end. But there is a little like latch that you can kind of pull that you think would open the other side of this hidden door.
Before I open it, I'm going to put my ear to it to see if I hear anything on the other side.
It's completely quiet.
And just a quick, I'm not even sure if this is a medical, like I know about the ward, right? Did Riley think, oh, there's a ward? There's a person in here.
I think you would, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she on the other side of the ward from you, or is she on the same side of the ward?
That's my understanding, right? It's like a...
She's on the other side.
She's on the inside of this ward, yeah.
So if someone would walk into the room and try to steal stuff or murder her in their sleep, they would walk through the ward.
But she couldn't. I see.
Yeah. And you're not sure if this thing is just like a barrier, an alarm spell, humiliation. You're not sure what will happen.
I think we're on the other side of the ward. All right. I think me and you might be coming on the same side of the ward as the girl is. I think we just bypassed the ward with our stairs.
I'm going to stealthily like pull the latch.
Okay, so you pull that latch and the door kind of pops up in that same click, and you can see that you're at the end of a longish hallway. And as you kind of step out and get a better look, you can see that the room closest to you, just across from where the door opens up, is the green glass room, which means the other door on the other side down the hallway is the Rosenberg room.
Ah, we're nowhere near the ward. Shoot.
Should we keep going?
I mean, yeah, might as well. We have a good cover of a spooky old lady looking for ghosts.
Are y'all upstairs now? I don't know why I'm whispering to my brain, but I feel like I need to do that because I'm scared. Maybe knock on the door, and then when she comes, maybe she turns the ward off, and then I go do something else dumb.
That's a good idea.
And I think in my head and say it out loud because you're right there. So should we check out the green room first for any reason? Since we're like right here.
Is it unlocked? I'm gonna try the door.
It's locked.
I also only have like 15 minutes left.
I guess that's our answer. I'm sure we can swing back around.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Katya, you're hearing all of this as you're trying your best to look interested into what Detective Grant is saying.
Just telling you about growing up and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's talking about doing green chili picking as a kid and how he used to go to his uncle's farm on the Bosque and that kind of stuff. And you guys are kind of heading back down the stairs. And he says, "Do you want to check out the spy house? That's actually where all the cool stuff is."
Do I want to? I mean, I'm gonna say it in my brain just to try and get some sort of answer from my friends if we should come over there.
I'll look at Suki.
I look at Q. I don't know. Why is everyone asking me? No.
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see, where all the cool stuff happened, right? Where the one guy sold the things and there's the secret passage and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and you guys are kind of out front of the house now, walking over to the next house. And he says, "Do you want to see the secret passage first, or upstairs first? What do you want to?"
Say upstairs first. Stay upstairs first.
Let's.
Oh, we're still in the secret. We're not in the secret passage.
No,
You're in the hallway now.
Sorry,
Upstairs.
I'm getting very confused with this.
So, I think the secret passage first would be pretty cool.
You guys are up there right now. What?
What?
They're gonna
Right?
see
Is that where I'm going?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
they
it's fine.
know
We're
you're
doing-
here. They know.
Yeah.
They
We're
know
out
you're
of the
there.
passage now.
They know you're.
Yeah, we're
know
doing a
you're
job.
there,
It's
but
all good. We're fine. Yeah, go for it.
You're hunting ghosts.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
haven't asked permission for the person who. Never mind.
Riley,
Good
I need you to act under pressure.
Damn it.
I'll get in his.
Oh,
I'll
No,
get
or
in his
take you
mind
too
if I have
long,
to.
man. What's act under pressure again? That's
Plus
cool.
sharp.
Got excited about spy stuff.
Isn't
I
that-
love spy stuff. But
isn't that
no,
cool?
I
Me
do.
too.
I do.
Isn't act under pressure cool?
No, not act. Oh, did I say act under pressure? Let me
Yes.
think. Read a bad situation. That's plus sharp.
Got it. So that was 8 on the die, so that's 11.
Excellent. You can hold 3 here.
The advance is for 12, right?
12 plus, yeah.
Is that 12 on the die or 12?
No,
total?
that's 12 total or more.
So close.
I
Hold
know.
3. What was it? Read a bad
Best way in,
situation.
best way out. Dangers you haven't noticed. Biggest threat. Vulnerable. Protect the victims, which could include you.
Yeah, best way to protect the victims.
Um,
Not be in the room.
You think that as long as you don't force a confrontation, if she's just a thief, she might not attack.
Okay.
So you guys busting down the door, Detective Grant drawing his sidearm, any of those things would make this escalate very, very quickly. And I'll give you, go ahead. You got 2 more to ask. You can
You were
hold.
gonna give me something. What are you gonna give me?
I give you nothing but
Damn it.
taxes and death.
Best way out. Is there another way out other than the door I walked in?
There's a window. You haven't seen what's going on with the bathroom really, but windows and the door you came through.
Biggest threat?
Biggest threat is probably, as you can see it right now, this is where I'll give you the extra. It's probably the ward that you noticed, but you also notice, and only because for a minute, she changes the paper to a different hand. She shakes her hand like it's going numb and kind of does one of these. And you see on her finger, there is a brass ring.
Mm.
And if that's what you think it is, that would be the biggest danger.
And at that point, I knock on the door.
She looks up and she sets down the papers, and you see her, Riley, go. And you saw in her hand she had a pen. She unclicks it and puts it back in her pocket. And you feel like she just did some mojo.
Yeah.
And she looks at the door, and then she's like, well, that is peculiar. So are they your friends, or are you a individual party? I know you're in here, but I can't see you. Most peculiar.
I'm going to say and think at the same time. Don't mean to alarm you. They are friends of mine.
Oh, baby, that's what the spell's for. And she sees you, kind of looks you up and down, and she turns her back to you and takes her bowl and kind of walks into the kitchen. It's like, so what can I do for you, sugar? And you hear her like putting something away in the kitchen. She comes back with her hands are empty, and she leans on the door, like
leans on the door
on the door frame to her little kitchenette thing.
Okay, so
where
not
she
like
put something away in a cabinet. Yeah.
Well, how about help? Door's unlocked. Come on,
Open the door.
Katia, you should probably take dude downstairs.
You guys are halfway up the stairs when you get that message, Katia. Q, Suki, you see the same scene I just described, and you see Riley kind of like standing like there, like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and her very just nonchalantly just kind of chilling. And says like, "Oh, it's a party now."
Well, hey, we're doing it. We're doing a ghost job. I look at Suki.
Yes, indeed. Hi there. My name's Suki Buchanan. It's so lovely to meet you. Your name is?
That's an interesting. I don't give my name, but you can call me Doris. Doris Payne.
It's lovely to meet you, Miss Doris. I fully understand the need for, anonymity at this time. But anyway, like my friend over here said, we are a ghost hunting party. I myself am the medium. We're actually looking for Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Nay Greenglass, I'm sure you know the whole story of this place. I mean, why else would you stay here?
I'm also
going to
say that
of the place.
She's wearing the ring. Also, I don't know if I said that already.
Suki tries not to register that on her face.
Yeah, and she just like, ghost tour, really?
No, not a ghost tour, a ghost hunt. We're looking for him. We're going through the city of Albuquerque, touring, I suppose, if you will, if you want to call it a ghost tour.
While you're talking, she's like walking forward and like she like turns the TV off so she can hear you better, and she's like, "So you're hunters?"
Oh shit.
Well,
you said you were hunting ghosts.
Well, yeah. Well, it ain't like we're kind of looking. We ain't looking to like hunt them like trophy hunters. We're looking to further explore the history of Albuquerque itself through the mouths of the dead. They don't really get to tell their stories no more after they pass on, and I'm particularly gifted at talking to those who have left this mortal coil, and
talking
you'd be
in general.
Surprised. Yeah, okay. But she's like, don't interrupt my train of thought. Like,
well, Miss, what was your name again?
Miss Buchanan. It's lovely to meet you. Suki for short, Susanna for long.
Well, Miss Suki, that is a wonderful story, but the problem is your little boy toy here just came out of nowheres and even defeated my magical sensor. Who sent you? Is this a double cross? Was it Maxwell? It was Sonny?
Maxwell.
I bet it was Sonny.
She said Maxwell. That's the guy who did the thing.
I'm gonna look at Riley. Boy toy.
I know. Oh, jeez. She does have me here.
She says, y'all can just go. I done already made my trade with what y'all looking for. You got about 5 seconds. Oh, it's gonna get ugly.
Ooh, let's not do that.
3.
Let's not. Let's not.
2.
And the second she like gets to 2, that's when like that aura comes up in my head. My eyes start glowing, and a sword appears in my left hand. Let's not do that.
I'll charge up a whammy.
She puts her
Just-
hand gently on Riley's shoulder,
Oh, come on.
No!
and
Teleport to him and grab him.
Solo, you feel like someone's trying to tear your body apart, and you notice it's the same hand that has the ring, and that's what we're gonna have to call it.
No!
Oh my gosh! And I'm just in a stairwell.
I wonder if I could just run up and deck her. I wonder.
Hey, let's save that. I love that. So Solo, you need to take 3 harm, armor defeating.
Oh my goodness.
Q, your next action is to teleport him away out of danger, and Suki, you've queued up a whammy. Got it.
And I was going to pretend like I was going to faint to get Detective Grant down the
Just falling down
stairs.
the stairs.
I
You
love
learned-
that.
You learned
That's-
that from Suki.
Yeah, just
Well, because I can fly, so I was going to make it so I don't like hurt myself. But I
Ah.
assumed I was walking like ahead of them because,
yeah,
you know,
right.
girls are going to walk ahead of a guy that they're, you know, whatever.
Hell yeah.
But,
Is that
yeah.
a thing? All right. Anyway,
That's a thing.
Yeah. In case
I've
they
been
fall
married
down
a
the
long
stairs.
time. So, hey, that's it for our game tonight. We're gonna cut it here. We get a little long, but I think the story deserved it. Thanks so much for watching. Please catch us next week, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, or the repeat on the same times on Tuesday on our YouTube channel. Albuquerque is a weird and spooky place. Let's keep it that way.
Oh God.
Oh, God.